Ross, this comes at a critical time in the battle against Don't Ask, Don't Tell. That's because for the first time in a long time, the tides in Washington seem to be turning.
This is Lieutenant Dan Choi driving our vehicle.
Dan Choi was one of America's brightest military officers, a hardcore West Point grad. He served 5 years in the infantry as a platoon leader with an extended tour in Iraq.
I loved my time in Iraq. I was doing a lot of reconstruction work, working directly with the government and really using my Arabic.
But after 9 years of having to lie about his sexuality, he had enough.
Don't worry about it.
I can't keep calling Matthew a her, and I can't call him Martha, and I can't keep fooling my friends.
So Choi left the Army and joined the National Guard because he still wanted to serve. But just last week, he took another dramatic step. He and 36 other West Point graduates publicly came out, calling themselves Nights Out.
We need to stand and be counted.
It's the highest profile group yet to challenge the 15-year-old Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy, and Washington may be ready to listen. Congresswoman Ellen Tauscher just introduced a bill to repeal it.
We need to end the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy.
Senator Ted Kennedy is introducing a similar bill in the Senate, and even President Obama seems to be on board. All this as a new book is raising serious questions about a policy that's being dubbed Don't Ask, Don't Tell, Don't Work.
I was somewhat surprised to hear people acknowledge it.
Dr. Nathaniel Frank is the author of Unfriendly Fire. He says the rationale for Don't Ask, Don't Tell, mainly that gays are a threat to unit cohesion, wasn't based on any empirical data. In other words, it was made up.
I spoke to senior military officers, now retired, who were at the table in creating Don't Ask, Don't Tell in 1993, and several of them offered me a kind of mea culpa, saying this policy was based on nothing, it was rooted in our own prejudices and fears.
In fact, research shows places where gays can serve openly, unit cohesion is alive and well.
We need to say we are West Point. We were nominated by our congressmen and senators, and we went through the difficult time of being the very best that we could to serve our country. And it's not irreconcilable that homosexuals, that bisexuals, that transgender Americans can serve honorably in the Army.
By the way, Dan is now waiting for the call, the one from the National Guard telling him he'll be dishonorably discharged for violating the tell part of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. He says it'll be tough, but he's made his peace with it. Ross?